pledge allegiance
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, folks, we're going to start having a moment of silence. When I was a softball coach, I always had a little prayer with my team that I won't.
Krug? Mrs. Krug?
Here.
Mr. Krumnacher?
Here.
Mrs. Krumnacher?
Here.
Mrs. Lieb?
Here.
Mr. Russell? Mr. Westrick?
Here.
Ms. Sinchok?
Here.
Okay, we have a guest this evening, Tri-County Transportation.
They'll speak to us in executive.
Sorry, I thought it was this yes. No one's not going to speak. So we're gonna have to bring to the superintendent's report right now then.
Okay, well, we do have several things I just want to make sure that the board's aware of. Ginger, she wasn't able to make it tonight, but she will reschedule with, whatever is acceptable to you. We'll make sure that we'll move that along to get that happening. Mr. Pajak is here tonight as well, so in executive, when we have a discussion about the baseball coach or you have questions about the high jump, the pole vault, he'll be here to answer that. Also, Angela Gibbons, our middle school principal, she did resign. So she's going back to Penn Cambria, going back to the classroom. So just want to thank her for her time here, appreciate having her here, and just want to say that, I do recommend that we continue with a third principal. That is a very difficult age, and those students do require a lot of attention. So, of course, it's up to the board, it's the board's decision, but my recommendation is to, of course, stick with a third principal. That's all I have tonight.
Okay, business manager.
My turn.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to Dan here. I have some additional information that I passed out to you guys for the pole vault and the high jump mask. We can talk about that later. There's also some information that I'm going to go into and have for you for executive session, as well as what I can do prior to, once we get out of the executive session, I will hand out to you the information you guys requested for heating oil for last year, as far as gallons used, cost. I have that available. That's it.
Okay. Be resolved, the Board of Education moves to executive session to discuss personnel contracts with students at 6:03 p.m. I'll make the motion. Okay, Mr. Krumnacher. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Motion carries.
We'll start with Tri-County and then Dan and then Roland.
Jeff, would you stay? Well, I'm going to bring you back in. Thanks. Well, it's for both of them. October 2nd meeting
And October 6th.
and October 16th. Yeah. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Treasurer and financial reports, y'all got to read them. I'll make the motion for that. Mrs. Mark, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, you guys can all see the enrollment report. Only one question. We were under 800 last month. How did we go up a couple of kids in 1 month? That just never amazes, it doesn't cease to amaze me how it fluctuates from 1 month to the next. I just wondered.
Kids move in, families move in, families move out. So you have some transient populations.
All right, buildings, grounds, cafeteria. Are we gonna have any kind of an update, Carol, on the building project? Nothing?
No.
Okay, no. Item B, Lawler 805 mixing valve replacement. Jeff, what's this is for the boiler, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody can read that? I'll make the motion for that. So, Ms. Carol Lee, questions or comments? Jeff, are we up and running with heat yet?
Yes.
The new boiler or just the small one?
Both are functional 100% this point. Other than our graphics, we're kind of.
Manual?
Kind of manual mode, yes, but they're all pretty common.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Did we know, did this mixing valve, did it malfunction? Was it damaged? How did it break?
Doesn't really break, it just over depleted, and when you go to adjust it, it doesn't regulate as it should.
It's worn out. Worn out.
It's not old.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Item business and finance, item A, Allegheny Intermediate Unit Joint Purchasing Program. We talked about this at the cow. I'll make the motion. So, Mr. Mike Basil, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, item B, rescind the motion for the yearbook that we made. I want to read this one because I asked to have a little bit more info on it. Be it resolved, the Board of Education rescinds the motion 24-10-21 to pay in full the current yearbook balance with Johnston's in the amount of $1,908.63, ending our contract with the company. That's the motion we made back then. So this is to rescind it. I will make that motion. So, Mr. Mike Basil, any questions or comments? All I did, guys, was to actually add the motion that was done, so we'd have to go find it, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, item C, the Johnston High School yearbook payment. And you can read what it is now. We've discussed this at the cow. What I'm gonna do is at the end of the type part, I'm gonna put, this will end our contract with the company. Okay, so if you wanna make that note, you can, and I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
So, Mrs. Mark Thurmanacher, any questions or comments? All in
Karen,
favor?
did you get all that? That's my comment, did Karen?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
that
it.
was on the addendum sheet that was with
Yeah,
you.
I know that, but
First
just
in bold
so
was what
it's
I asked her to add, so I just wanted to make sure that was just. added.
clarified for her, because she's probably trying to write and keep up here.
That's all it was. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Motion carries.
Item D, copier purchase. You guys can see that in front of you. Mr. Paranish talked about that last at the cow. I'll make the motion for that. So, Mrs. Norma Crew. Any questions or comments on those? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, the PCCD grant modification, number 44621. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon advice of our solicitor, remove the item 2425 therapy dog training, refer to the motion 24-9-11 in the amount of $3,504 from the PCCD grant number 44621. This money will be reallocated in the PCCD grant to help purchase portable readers for the district. Do I have a motion? Mrs. Mark Thurmanacher? Do Mr. Mike Basil? Any questions or comments?
Can we just get clarification is it just because we are we not allowed to use it for the therapy dogs, or is it
No,
just?
we can use it for the therapy dog.
Okay.
My understanding was that the board did not want to use it for the therapy dog.
It's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're gonna still do a therapy dog, it's somewhat coming from the overall end of the school, I guess. Okay.
So we'll do a roll call on that one?
I have
Oh,
one,
sorry,
yeah, I
Nancy,
have
go ahead.
one question, because you're
Go ahead.
saying the grant to help purchase portable radios. We didn't vote for the radios yet.
Yeah, that's what was gonna be my question.
Yep. How can that be a motion ahead of the radios?
Well, are we
When's
making
the
the money
next-
available for the radios? Is that just,
I'm just saying it's in the motion.
no, I know, but that just,
Could
we're
you
just
just-
saying we're
There's
reallocating to
enough
make it
for
allow for the
Yeah.
radios? It doesn't mean
I
we're
believe that's all
approving
it's saying.
Yeah, doesn't mean we're gonna approve the radios, we're just,
To reallocate to
Okay.
help purchase radio. Alright, I just wanna make that comment.
And can I, ask a
Sure,
question then?
Go ahead.
So then this, all of our PCCD grant money is allocated for then, 100%, correct? We have nothing left.
We have nothing left. Everything is already allocated, but we can reallocate. But and that's what the discussion needs to be in the next motion. If you want all that money to be paying for the radios, we have to take away from something else. Whether that's an SRO, Giddings, something like that.
Thank you.
one last note, Kevin. So then we can revisit the therapy dog then, I guess, is a separate thing if we want to.
You can use that anytime we want, I think.
We're just, is it,
How are we
okay.
how are we gonna fund it? We're not funding it now if we approve this motion out of the grant.
That is correct.
So do we have any portable radios now at the school?
Well,
Is this to replace?
let's get to that
No,
motion.
right.
That's the next
Okay.
motion.
Okay,
This is just about the money part.
true.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Me.
Motion carries.
All right, item F, portable radios. Be resolved, the Board of Education authorizes purchase of 27 Kenwood portable radios at Motorola repeater from Center Communications. The cost of the district will not exceed $13,806.96. PCCD grant 44621, which was just approved, will be modified to include $3,504 towards the cost of the portable radios, as per attachment number 1. Motion by Mr. Mark Romanacher. Second, Mr. Mike Basil. All right, questions or comments? Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, so I know this came up at the last meeting, I think it was originally around 23-ish, I can't remember the exact number. Did it go up to 26 or something from
Yeah, you want
23?
27.
20,
So we have a list,
was that it?
there was a list I gave you of
Somewhere.
who that they went to.
I'm trying to locate the newest attachment.
Give us an email.
I have one question.
It's
Do
not on
we
this
have radios
map
right now?
or two.
Yes, we have radios right now,
Do they work?
barely. A lot of them do not. They don't hold charges, you key the mic on, you get the squeal, you can't hear a voice. Some don't get any in or out transmission. Especially with my group, as far as what the teachers have or the aides that I had or anybody else, they're working, but my staff is bad.
Do we need high powerful radios in one building? Do we need these, Jeff, do we need radios that we're talking to Cambria County for in Northern Cambria School District?
Within our own,
There's
within our own,
no,
within our own buildings is all we really need.
because you can get a lot better, you can get a step up from a hunting radio a lot cheaper than what we're gonna pay to have a channel on Cambria County's communications.
I got a couple I'm looking at right now. I just didn't have time the last couple of days. I've been entertained with other issues, but I'll do some more homework on this.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Are these licensed radios?
These ones here?
These have to be FCC licensed radios.
Yes,
There's so much, they have to be.
they are, I guarantee you, these are licensed radios.
They have to be. Okay. Go ahead.
So my question was, are they so much because we need that range? Because when we have a custodian up at the high school and someone's down here, everyone can hear everybody, correct?
Correct.
And so once everyone's down here, we don't need that large of a range.
Correct.
everything that we have, anyone on the perimeter of the property with what we have now, you can hear everyone, correct? Thank you.
At the track and the football field.
Anything else?
Yeah, just one more.
Go ahead, Mike.
Are these integrated with, so can we use these with the current radios you have? Like, say you have so many radios that are currently good, can they all be used? Like,
Right now, we can all talk to anybody that's on the radio.
with these new purchases though, like, will these ones
Yeah.
work with the ones that you currently have?
Yes.
And do you feel like any are good of the ones you currently have?
I might have one or two that's so-so, but I can't hardly talk to anybody throughout my day.
Yeah.
I've been using their cell phones, to want the truth.
Okay.
Jeff, do you have dedicated channel plus privacy frequencies?
Yeah, I think 4 channels in the work off, yeah.
Do you feel you need more time to research this to see what is better
Yeah, I would like
for
to have a
you?
little bit more time, I'm sure we can find something.
Did you see what I
Rather
sent
than
you?
lock you into this.
My research? Because that's way less, especially when we move to one campus.
Yeah, I'm not against radios in any way.
Yeah,
But
no,
I also
absolutely
want the
not.
best for the best price.
Okay. All right, roll call.
Mrs. Hoover?
No.
Dr. Krug?
No.
Mrs. Krug?
No.
Mr. Krimenacher?
No.
Mrs. Krimenacher?
No.
Mrs. Lieb?
No.
Mr. Basil?
in- Sure, why not, yes.
Mr. Westrick?
No.
Ms. Zinchuk?
No.
Motion fails.
Let us know when you have more info, okay? Okay, community relations, nothing. Curriculum instruction is homebound. Be resolved, the Board of Education approves homebound instruction for a grade 12 student. I believe that information was emailed to everybody. Everybody get it? Everybody happy with it?
Yep.
All right, I'll make the motion then.
I'll second.
Second, Mrs. Owen Krug. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I just have one comment. If Karen, if you could please just include that as an attachment, just the info, so when we go back, we know what case that was.
It can't be an appendix, though, because it's FERPA. It's a student's
Oh,
medical
yeah.
issue.
No, I don't even mean that, but like maybe hours or what.
Oh, I can add more detail to the motion, yes.
The hours, I don't want any student names, absolutely not.
Okay.
Right, right. Just, yeah,
I will add like who the,
the instructor or whatever, yeah, just.
we
because
didn't have that information.
Sometimes there's 2 or 3 on at a time.
Yeah.
For us to vote on, and we need to know which particular one we voted on, because next week there could be another. That's all. If you could specify in an attachment.
The information was, they were still gathering information when this agenda went out. So that's why it took,
That's okay, but the info we received will clarify a lot of that.
Yes.
So if you could just put some of that, highlight some of that, totally disregard the confidentiality with, the
Yes.
student's name.
right.
Got it.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
All right.
Just because if we come back to it.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, legislation, policy development, administrative manual. Be resolved, the Board of Education approves compiling administrative procedure and board procedure manual through the SBA. The initial cost would be $5,000 and $1,000 per year after that. Motion by Mr. Mendoza. Second by Mr. Norman Krug. Questions or comments? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if I quite understand, I guess, in terms of how this, I mean, I get we need some procedures, but I'm assuming we have procedures for a lot of stuff right now. Seems like a little bit.
We have things in student handbooks. We don't have specific handbook in itself of procedures, administrative procedures, and it's basically showing how you expand upon and meet those policies. So I shared a couple with you, like for example, naming a gym. So we have no policy about naming anything in this district. So if we create a procedure, then that's something that could be on record that whoever's here in my seat or administratively or board-wise, that's kind of a consistent policy that you follow. So that can be for things such as that. It could be for anything, new board members on the school board.
Mhm.
So again, it's showing that consistency instead of every new board that comes on needs to make a decision on how to do something or how to meet a policy. This could be a way that we bring some consistency to the school district.
So my question is then, who writes it? Do we write it in partnership
PSBA
with
gives
PSBA?
PSBA gives us samples.
Okay.
Those would then come to you, and then the board would then make those decisions as to how to arrange them, rearrange them, whether to approve them, not approve them, and that's how that would work.
Do we get any, like, a consultant to help us with these?
Yes,
Right,
so
for the cost.
they're gonna give you the template, and then you can tailor it for your needs in your district.
So technically, if we would do this procedure manual, we wouldn't have to necessarily redo it every year.
No.
So this $1,000 per year after that,
That's just to keep it online, like we do with our
Okay.
policies
All
that we
right, so-
already have.
we could have a hard copy in-house and or download it onto our drives here.
We could, I mean, technically, I guess you could do the 5,000, get the manual, and then say, no, thank you anymore, and just kind of use what you have there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no absolute need that we need to go through PSBA for this. We can do this ourselves. We don't need an organization to do this for us. I don't feel that we need to seek out PSBA to do this, and then that is $1,000 per year. That's just keeping it online for us, and we can do that in our own records.
How does this differ from board docs?
It would be a part of board docs, but under
So it's-
administrative procedures.
So it's more than just board procedures, it's the entire school
Correct.
procedures?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea, Laura, I think it's something maybe, I don't know if we have enough, I just don't know if we have enough things that, I'm not gonna say we don't go back and forth about how to do things at times. I guess my gut reaction is, we do have those one-offs, I just don't know if it's something that would be, it'd be nice, it's a nice to have, for sure. I don't know if it's quite a necessity, but nice to have, I wouldn't disagree, so. Okay, thanks, Laura.
Anybody else? Roll call.
Dr. Krug?
No.
Mrs. Krug?
No.
Mr. Krimenacher?
No.
Mrs. Krimenacher?
No.
Mrs. Lieb?
No.
Mr. Vazel?
No.
Mr. Westrick?
No.
Ms. Zenshaw?
No.
Mrs. Hoover?
No.
Motion fails.
Settlement agreement. We talked about this in executive session. You all know what's going on there, so I'll make the motion for that. Do you second? Jerry?
I'll second, sorry.
Okay, second from Mr. Jerry Krimenacher. Any questions or comments? Since this is a settlement, I'm gonna roll call this one too.
Mrs. Krug?
Yes.
Mr. Krimenacher?
Yes.
Mrs. Krimenacher?
Yes.
Mrs. Lieb?
Yes.
Mr. Vazel?
Yes.
Mr. Westrick?
Yes.
Ms. Zenshaw?
Yes.
Mrs. Hoover?
Yes.
Dr. Krug?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sorry, guys, I assumed that, but I didn't want to assume that. Okay. Personnel, substitute aid list, be resolved, the Board of Education approves the addition of Becky Yarn to the district substitute aid list for the 2024-25 school year, and I will make that motion. So, Mr. Jerry Krimenacher, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion
Looks
carries.
like Jen does everything staff development. Student activities, Mr. Basil is busy as usual. Everybody can read those, I'm not gonna do that for you, but I will make the motion. Say, Mr. McMazel. Questions or comments on any of that, guys? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
And transportation, be resolved, the Board of Education approves the following substitute bus drivers for the 2024-25 school year, and we reviewed this in executive session, and the man's name is Mr. Tim Keith, and I will make that motion. Senator from Mike Basil. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Motion carries.
All right, athletics assistant coaches, you guys can see who's on the list for assistant coaches. It's for softball and for, well, it's all softball. Some of them are paid contracts, some of them are volunteers. So I'll make the motion for that.
Second.
So, Mrs. Jen Zenshaw. Anybody have any questions or comments on anyone?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Under assistant coaches, if we could label that Mr. Richard Reward the third,
I
please.
apologize. Yep. He is a
And that-
teacher here.
Yeah, he's our staff member here. And Karen, if you could just make note of that in the minutes, please. That
Okay,
correction.
anything else? Questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay. On your agendas, we talked about that in executive session for the head baseball coach. We need more information, so we're gonna hold off on that till the next meeting, okay? Item C, high jump pole vault pit combo. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approved the replacement purchase of the high jump and pole vault mats for the 2025 track and field season from Ritchie Athletics at a cost of $23,195. That is different than what's in your agenda, because I guess Mr. Peronish made some wheeling and dealing, and we got the price down. Okay, is that correct?
Yeah, and quite frankly, the problem was before at the price that was higher, we would have to go out to bid. So
Okay.
that was, they had told us originally that they would try to get the price down. We listed the most recent contract, or quote, then I called them again today. I said, listen, we have to know if you want us to buy them, you have to be under that price. So
Yeah.
they did go down. So we are fine to do that. We have our other two quotes. And so that's, and
Karen,
those funds can come out of the athletic, or the Miller fund.
yeah, okay, the Rockland Miller Foundation will make funds to purchase the mats. Will you please include this in the minutes then?
Yeah, yes.
Replace it with the other chart if you don't mind, okay? Any questions or comments,
We
guys?
need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make I said I made a motion for that, didn't I?
No.
Okay, I apologize. Motion by me.
Second.
Second, Mr. Mike Basil. Any questions or comments? Other than that one? Maybe, I guess we can't really get rid of the chart, just add this one to it, just to make sure, okay?
Which one?
Are we good to vote on this without knowing exactly how much the Rocco Miller Foundation will contribute?
Yeah.
They contribute 100%.
We can actually just make that,
Oh, we make that call.
it's.
We already have
direct
their
the
funds. They-
Okay, I was just making sure, okay.
Yeah, we can do 100%.
As long as we don't have to like line item it, the amount, right? Doesn't matter.
Well, that would be up to Dan or so whoever does this, right? I don't think they're gonna get too in-depth, just get
Okay.
back to
No,
it.
what I will do is, as courtesy, I don't think I really even have to, but as a courtesy, when we disperse those funds out of our fund, I will then notify the Lido fund that we
That we used
dispersed
it.
that much of
Okay.
the money they gave us.
And you'll get a purchase order anyway, right? And copy that, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
All right, Rosebud Mining Matching Funds. Be resolved, the Board of Education agrees to match the $100,000 offered by Rosebud Mining with district and funds acquired from fundraising for this purpose to use toward the football stadium repairs and or replacements, or et cetera, whatever they need down there. I will make the motion for that.
Second?
Second by Mr. Jen Zenshaw. Any questions or comments? This was very nice of them, by the way.
Yes, thank you so
Very
much.
nice of them. Okay. All in-
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
All right, payment of the bills. Be it resolved, the payment of the bills for the month of November 2024 be approved as presented or amended, received and filed. I will make that motion. Second by Mr. Mike Basil. That's in the way.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry about that. Any questions or comments on the bills, guys? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, did any of you guys want anything placed on the agenda for December 3rd? December 3rd, it's a reorganization meeting and the cow and the regular meeting, because Christmas is right around the corner after that.
Should we have the baseball coach discussion on that one?
Well, we'll need to put that on, I would say.
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool?
Swim back
Okay,
up,
hold on.
swimming pool.
Let me write that down.
Discussion on it.
Swimming pool
See where we're
discussion.
at.
Yeah, you know what, cost figures
Yes.
with that, yeah,
See
please.
where we
something wrong with the
were.
No, we were gonna go a year and see how it was.
Cost
I think
figures,
we were
okay.
out.
Go a year to.
We'll send that out for you.
Therapy dogs, Kevin. Therapy dogs, since we, yeah.
Therapy dogs, okay?
A cost analysis of the swimming pool, we're not gonna know much because it's been down most of the year, but just to put
Well-
that, we can certainly come up with something, but we haven't been able to use it because of construction.
You had something you wanted on?
I just wanted to let the board know that I can hand out that information regarding the fuel oil.
Oh, yeah,
usage.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
that here,
please,
But
please.
but before you leave,
Did someone say something else I missed?
No, therapy.
I got, on baseball. If anything else, if you have anything else in the meantime, just don't forget to email me, okay? No problem. All right, guys, we're gonna go into a real short executive session. The voting members of the board, I have to do this. But we will not vote on anything coming out after executive session, okay? So be it resolved, the Board of Education enters into executive session at 7:38 PM. I will make that motion. Mr. Norman Cook, any questions or comments? All in favor? Anybody opposed? Thank you guys for coming. You will not.
One question.
One second, open my door.